Marcus Chen had worked the night shift at Pacific Distribution Center for 3 years. Every evening at 11 p.m., he'd clock in, load pallets, and drive his forklift through the massive warehouse until dawn. It was solitary work, which suited him fine. At 32, recently divorced and living alone in a small apartment across town, Marcus preferred the quiet rhythm of his routine. Thursday night started like any other. Marcus was moving inventory near the loading docks when he heard something unusual, a muffled groan coming from behind a stack of shipping containers in the back lot. He set down his clipboard and walked toward the sound. There, collapsed against the concrete wall, was a woman in a dark uniform. Her face was pale, and she was clutching her chest, struggling to breathe. Marcus recognized her immediately, Officer Sarah Brennan, the security liaison who occasionally checked in on the facility. Her patrol car was parked nearby, door still open. "Hey. Can you hear me?" Marcus dropped to his knees beside her. Sarah's eyes fluttered. "Can't breathe right, chest hurts." Marcus pulled out his phone and dialed 911, his hands shaking. "I need an ambulance at 4500 Industrial Boulevard, backloading area. Female officer, mid-40s, possible heart attack." While waiting, he remembered a first aid course from years ago. He loosened her collar, helped her stay calm, and kept talking to her. "Stay with me. Help is coming." "What's your name?" "Sarah," she whispered. "I'm Marcus." "You're going to be okay, Sarah." The ambulance arrived within 8 minutes. Paramedics stabilized her and rushed her to Regional Medical Center. As they loaded her into the ambulance, one of them turned to Marcus. "You probably saved her life." "Good thinking." Marcus stood in the empty parking lot afterward, adrenaline still coursing through him. He thought about going home, but something compelled him to follow up. After his shift ended, he drove to the hospital.at the information desk. They told him Sarah was in the ICU, stable but only family could visit. Marcus left his name and number with a note, just wanted to know she's okay. He went home, showered, and collapsed into bed. But he couldn't stop thinking about that moment, her pale face, her labored breathing, the desperate look in her eyes. 3 days later, his phone rang. Unknown number. "Is this Marcus Chen?" A woman's voice, hoarse but alive. "Yes. This is Sarah Brennan. The officer you helped. They told me you called to check on me." Marcus sat up straight. "You're okay. Thanks to you. The doctors said I had a severe cardiac event. If I'd been alone another 10 minutes. Her voice broke slightly. "I wanted to thank you personally. Would you be willing to meet for coffee when I'm discharged?" They met the following week at a cafe downtown. Sarah looked healthier, though still tired. She was accompanied by a teenage girl with the same sharp eyes. "This is my daughter, Emma," Sarah said. "I wanted her to meet the man who saved my life." Emma shook Marcus's hand firmly. "Mom told me everything. Thank you." Over coffee, Sarah explained she'd been working double shifts, ignoring warning signs, fatigue, chest discomfort, shortness of breath. "I kept telling myself I was just tired. Single mom, trying to make detective, thought I could push through anything." She laughed bitterly. "Stubborn pride almost killed me." Marcus understood that loneliness more than she knew. "I'm just glad I was there." But Sarah wasn't finished. "I did some research on you," she said carefully. "Found out you were honorably discharged from the Army. Medical training. I also learned you've applied for firefighter positions 3 times in the past 2 years." Marcus shifted uncomfortably. "How did you? I'm a cop. We have resources." She smiled. "Why'd they reject you?" He stared into his coffee. "History of anxiety after my deployment. Even though I've been in therapy and stable for years, they said it was a liability. Last rejection letter came 4 months ago." Sarah leaned forward. "That's garbage. You acted decisively under pressure when it mattered most. That's exactly who should be in emergency services." "Doesn't matter what I think," Marcus said quietly. "It matters what they think." "What if it didn't?" Sarah's eyes gleamed with determination. "What if someone vouched for you? Someone whose life you saved?" 2 weeks later, Marcus received a call from Fire Chief Rodriguez. "Mr. Chen, we received a rather compelling letter from Officer Sarah Brennan regarding your character and capabilities. We'd like you to come in for a re-evaluation interview." Marcus's hands went numb. "Seriously? Officer Brennan has also arranged for you to speak with the department's peer support coordinator about your anxiety management. If that goes well, we'll move forward with reconsidering your application." The interview took place on a gray Tuesday morning. Marcus sat across from Chief Rodriguez and 2 other officials, answering questions about his military experience, his medical history, his reasons for wanting to serve. "I know I have anxiety," Marcus said when they asked about his mental health. But I've learned to manage it. And when someone needed help, I didn't freeze. I acted. That's what matters in a crisis. Chief Rodriguez nodded slowly. Officer Brennan wrote that you showed exceptional composure and competence under pressure. That's high praise from someone who's seen a lot of emergencies. 3 weeks later, Marcus received the acceptance letter. He'd been admitted to the Fire Academy training program starting in January. He called Sarah immediately. I got in. Her voice burst with joy. I knew you would. This is wonderful, Marcus. I wouldn't be here without you. You would have gotten here eventually. I just helped move things along. She paused. Listen, Emma and I are having dinner Sunday to celebrate my recovery. Would you join us? I'm making lasagna. I'd like that. Months later, after Marcus graduated from the academy, Sarah attended the ceremony in full uniform, Emma beside her. When Marcus received his badge, they cheered louder than anyone. At the reception afterward, Chief Rodriguez approached them. Officer Brennan, I wanted to thank you for bringing Mr. Chen to our attention. He's already distinguished himself in training. Sarah smiled. He saved my life, Chief. The least I could do was help save his future. As the sun set over the city, Marcus stood between Sarah and Emma, looking at his new badge. He thought about that night in the warehouse parking lot, how one moment of courage had changed everything. You know what's funny? Sarah said, reading his thoughts. We both saved each other. You saved my life. I saved your dream. That's how it's supposed to work. Marcus nodded, feeling for the first time in years that he belonged somewhere. I guess we make a good team. The best kind, Sarah agreed. The kind that lifts each other up. And in that moment, surrounded by people who believed in him, Marcus understood the deepest truth of all. Sometimes the person you help is exactly the person who can help you back. Not because they owe you, but because kindness creates ripples that return to shore when you need them most.